Good morning. Right now we are going to develop a search page manually. After the creation of search page, it will look like this. This is a search page. It contains four fields: supplier ID, supplier name, start date, and hold flag. And it contains the details field. Otherwise, you can call it as the supplier site details, name, hold flag, start date, end date, supplier site ID, site name, carrier code, purchasing site flag, and some other things. First of all, we will see how to create the search page manually. For, for that, right click on the project, new, Vivo, idea business components, Vivo. Click OK. Next, India, RKL, third party identifier, India, RKL, apps, module name, PO, and component name, search page, dot, and the path, server. It is Vivo now, so it should be there in server. XX manual search page Vivo. This is it. This is the Vivo. Let's go for the query. This is our query. This query will take the three parameters, band parameters 1, 2, 3. First band parameter is supplier ID. If the user enters the supplier ID, it will go to the supplier, it will fetch the data for the particular supplier. User can enter supplier name, that is second band parameter. User can hold the third parameter on hold flag. In this, we are using another band parameter called start date. Right now, we are not using here in the where class, but we will write the where class programmatically. When just copy the code, test the code. It is working perfectly. Next, 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 finish. Then we need to create the application module AM. Next, XX supplier AM. This is our application module. Next, this is our Vivo. Attach Vivo to AM. Next, 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 finish. Then we need to create the page, WebTire OA components page. Next, XX manual search page. It should be there in WebUI. Third party identifier, RKill, apps, PO, search page, dot WebUI. Make sure the directory is created properly. You shouldn't give any mistake. You shouldn't do any mistake here. Right click on the region. Whenever the page is created, by default one region is created. That region is called main region. And attach the AM definition. We must and should give the window title. After that, create another region. This is default single column. No, sorry, it is not default single column, it is default double column. Default double column region. And you can give the details, supplier details. Otherwise we can say enter supplier details. Within this you can create the items. You see, These are supplier details, inter-services criteria like this. Our page contains 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 criteria, 4 fields are there. For that we have created 4 fields. First field is supplier ID. And it is text supplier ID. Second is supplier name. Third is on hold flag. This is message checkbox. Style is message text box. Sorry, message checkbox. Prompt is hold flag. Item number 4. This is start date and it is date. After that you can create another region. Click on the main region, create region. This region is row layout region. This region is used for creation of buttons. Here in this in our page we are using this for creation of the buttons, and alignment should be horizontal alignment. Center, create the buttons center. Right click new item. Right click new item. The search page contains go and clear buttons. The search page contains go and clear buttons, and they are center of the page. So we are creating the 2 buttons within that, and we are creating one spacer. This is search. This is submit button. Prompt is search. This is spacer. Button spacer. Width equal to some 50 pixel length. We are giving distance between the 2 buttons is 50 pixels. This is cancel button. This is cancel. Right click on the main region, create item. This is also spacer. It will give 50 pixels. It will give 50 pixels difference, and you are creating another region. This site region. Site details. Your region is table. Within this we need to create, make sure that table width is 100%. Right click on the table region, new item, new item, new item, new item, new item, new item. This is supplier ID. User shouldn't enter this. So it should be message style text. This is supplier ID. Here we must give Vivo instance. otherwise it can't fetch the data. It will fetch the data, but that won't be displayed in the fields. What is this? Supplier ID. Go to next field, set the view instance and set the view attribute. Supplier site ID. Second is supplier site ID. This is also message styler text. Supplier site ID. Third is site name. Set the view instance view attribute name. Site name. Supplier site name. Fourth is set the view instance first. Start date. Message style text. Start date. Fifth is on hold flag. Set the view instance. This is also message checkbox. Hold flag. Sixth is we didn't set the site name style. That is why icon is different somewhat. Oh, this is also message style text. Item 6, view instance, view attribute, carrier code. Sorry, we forgotten this. We should set it. Message style text. Set the view instance. This is purchasing site flag. Purchasing site flag. Give the prompt. This is address ID. This is address ID. Set the view instance. Address ID. Yeah, almost we set everything. One thing we forgot. Start date is there and end date also there. So and give end date. End date. Set the view instance and view attribute. View instance and the view attribute. Yeah. Right click on the table region. New table actions. Right click on the region. Right click on the table actions region 1. Create item. Create supplier. This is submit button. Prompt is let's run the page and see the output. Yeah, this is the page we have developed. Nothing is happening here, you see. We need to handle the events. Either we'll enter the data, he will click the buttons, event will raise. That event we need to handle it. For that, go to the web UI. Sorry, click on the page, click on the main region, right click, set new controller. Controller should be in web UI. XX manual search page controller. This is the controller. Controller will have it will generate one Java file. It will have the two methods, process request method and process form request method. By default it contains only two methods, process request and process form request. This method will fire whenever the page loads, and this method will fire whenever the user interaction occurs or some event occurs. To handle this event, we will write the code in this process form request. Let me write the code first, then I will explain what is happening in the code. Welcome back. This is our page. In this page, we have written one controller. How to write the controller? Right click on the main region, set new controller. This is the way to set the controller, and controller should be there in the web UI folder. Our controller will have one method, process request method. This method will fire whenever the page loads, and it will have another method. It is process form request. This page will fire whenever the user interaction happens. Otherwise, some event occurs. Event occurring nothing but selection of some buttons, clicking some buttons, selection of some pop-up menu, selection of some LOVs. That time it will occur. And here we are initializing the AM here. We are creating instance of the AM here with this is the instance. This is the syntax for the initialization of the AM. If page context dot get parameter of search is not equal to null, here search is nothing but search button. Here this search is nothing but search button. Yeah, this is it. This is the search button. Here we have written if not equal to null. When the search button is not equal to null, search button it will become to null. It won't be null whenever the user click the button, and user will enter some data. That data will be user will enter the data into the supplier ID field, supplier name field, or supplier start date field, or supplier whole flag field. Whatever the data is entered in those fields, that will be copied into, or that will come into this supplier ID, supplier name, whole flag, or start date. From this we are moving the controller to Vivo. From this we are moving the controller to AM. We have one method, XX init query method. That method contains 4 parameters: supplier ID, supplier name, whole flag, start date. And whenever the user enters that button, process form request method it will handle, and we will get the data to supplier ID, supplier name, whole flag, start date. And we are calling one method in AM, init query method, by passing some 4 parameters, and control will go to AM. Let's move to AM. And here this is the method that is available in AM, and in this method we are initializing the Vivo, and we are calling XX get supplier data method of Vivo. One method is there in the Vivo. That method is XX get supplier data. I have written one method, XX get supplier data. That method contains 4 parameters that will take supplier ID, supplier name, whole flag, and start date. We are calling that method by passing these four parameters. Let's go to Vivo. Yeah, this is the actual code where the story is there. This XX get supplier data. These are the 4 parameters that a user may enter. First of all, we are clearing the cache that is there. Whenever the page loads, cache might be there. That cache, we are clearing that cache, and we are getting the query from the Vivo. How to get the query? This dot get query method is there. With this method, we will get the query to old query variable, string variable is there. We will get the data to old query string variable by using this dot get query method. And we are using the flag. Why we are using this flag? We are using this flag to identify whether the user has entered supplier ID or supplier name or on whole flag or start date. And if the user clicks supplier ID, if the user gives supplier ID for such criteria, there shouldn't be null, and there should not be a space, and then that will go to this loop. This dot set where class equal to 0 comma supplier ID. Why we are using this 0? This is Java na. OAF framework depends on Java na, that is developed in Java na. So indexing is starts from the 0. In the Java indexing will start from the 0. So that criteria only, that scenario only we are using here. This dot set where class parameter equal to 0 comma supplier ID. We are using the first parameter, and that is supplier ID. Whatever the user enters the supplier ID, that will pass to the where class by using this set where class parameter. And user has entered supplier ID, so flag should be supplier ID. And if user didn't enter the, suppose if user didn't enter the supplier ID, then it should become na, then the loop control will go to the else loop. This dot set where class parameter equals 0 comma null. It won't pass anything, it will pass null value to the first parameter. Okay, then suppose user has entered some supplier name value, so here that shouldn't be null, that shouldn't be equal to space. So this control will goes to this supplier name if block or if loop. If block, it will go to if loop, it will go to if. In this if condition, this is just set where class parameter equal to set where class parameter equal to 1 comma supplier name. Whatever the user enters supplier name is there now, that will be supplied to the second where class parameter. And the user didn't enter supplier name, then control will go to this else block. And if the user enters on hold flag, that shouldn't be null, then shouldn't be space. Set where class parameter equal to 2 comma y. Supplier, it will become yes true. It will become user has entered is on hold flag. So we are setting dynamically y instead of null. We are setting dynamically y, and the flag is equal to on hold flag. Suppose if the user didn't enter the else conditional, if the user didn't enter on hold flag also, this control will go to this set where class parameter. And in our query, the query contains only 3 parameters only. The query contains only 3 parameters. You see, make 1, 2, 3 supplier ID, supplier name, on hold flag. But we are using 4th parameters also. In the output, we are using 4th parameter also. Start date, we are allowing the user to enter start date also. We are searching the record based on the start date also. So, but the query contains only 3 parameters. So we have to add the another parameter dynamically. Consider user has entered start date, there shouldn't be null and there shouldn't be space. And set this dot add where class parameter. Whatever the user has added na, user has given the start date na, we are using this passing the value start date. Set add where class parameter. Set add where class. We are adding this method. This add where class. Control will go to this add where class. It is having start date. One parameter is this is we are adding one parameter we are passing. This dot add where class. We are passing this parameter. Control will go to add where class parameter method. This is the method. And right now we are getting the query to old query by using this dot get query method. And we are using string buffer type is new query equal to string buffer of new query. We are buffering that query. Make sure that the code should be append. For that we are using the string buffer variable called new query. We are passing that query to current query viewer query to new query variable. New query equal to new query dot append and nval of this is the where class parameter, 4th where class parameter. If it is a null, by default system date should be submitted. We are using that parameter. And this does set query equal to, we are setting the parameter, we are appending the where class by using new query dot append. And this dot set query new query dot toString. We are passing it. We are toString. We are converting the new query to the string format and we are passing to set query. We are setting the query by using this dot set query method. And control once again it will come back to here and we will set the where class parameter like this. And if the user enters, and flag should be start date. Then suppose if the user didn't enter the start date, So control need not to go to supply anything. So done, nothing is there in the else block. So suppose user didn't enter anything, he clicked the search button. What it should happen na? Control will go to this. It will say that please enter at least one search criteria. This is our validation block. Here we do the validation. Suppose if user enters supplier ID or supplier name, it will enter this block. He didn't enter both things. We shouldn't allow the user to enter the supplier ID or supplier name. If you want to enter supplier ID, you must and should enter supplier name also. If you enter supplier name, you must and should enter supplier ID also. Suppose user didn't enter anything, if he click the search button, so control come to this block, it will throw some exception. Please enter at least one criteria. It will throw this exception. And suppose user will enter some data and he click the search button. Suppose user might have entered supplier ID or supplier name, but he didn't enter both supplier ID and supplier name. Control will come to this block and it will says that please enter supplier ID and supplier name or all hold flag. Suppose he has entered on hold flag, then control will go to and it will execute it. Suppose he has entered start date. If he entered suppose user has entered start date, the control will go to this place and it will execute the query. This is the method. And this is the method in AM. Simple, nothing is there in this. And this is the controller code. This is it. Let's run the page, see the output. Suppose user has entered some data and he search button. It has to say please enter supplier ID and supplier name. Suppose he can search for anything by supplying this, and he can search for what is supplier site ID. We didn't give supplier site name. Okay, let it be. You can click search on hold. Yeah, it is working. And like this, you can search 8th August 2013. Thank you.